Hi everyone, my name is Vanita Petties with Pink Glitter Events, and I'm putting together a wreath because it's that time of year, and I've had a lot of people who have reached out to me and have asked me, hey, did you actually do a video of the recent wreath workshop? And I'm like, no, I should have. I didn't do that. There was a lot of people who were not able to attend the workshop who are still interested in making a wreath, whether it be for fall, Christmas, or spring, or even just an everyday wreath. So what I'm going to show you is just kind of really basic. It's not going to be a lot of details in here, right? But please feel free to message me, and I'm more than happy to send you details as far as how much ribbon you need, cutting the ribbon, what length it should be, width, things like that. I'm happy to share those details with you, and I'll make sure to post them in the comments of this video as well. So this is just going to be a basic, just the base of the wreath, which is something that no matter what type of wreath you're making, this is going to show you just how to get your base or your foundation started with that wreath. So what I have here is actually some, this is like a deco mesh burlap, right? As you can see, it's very see-through. There's not like any type of other colors mixed into it. You can purchase this at Hobby Lobby. I do recommend checking with some of the online wreath supply stores because the quality is a whole lot better than what you will get at Hobby Lobby, and it's just my opinion. And I'll post one of my favorite wreath supply stores in the comments in case you want to order your own. If you don't have time to do that, or that's not what you're wanting to do, definitely go to Hobby Lobby. Right now they have a lot of their Christmas supplies 50% off, so you can still get some great deals on those. So this is one that I have left over. I'm a firm believer in like not wasting anything, so I'm going to start with this, and then if necessary I'll move to one that is not open, but it just kind of shows you. So there's the kind of what you're looking for. This is the big one. This is the one that you want to get. It's the size 21 inch by 10 yards. And this is enough to do one wreath. And I make my wreaths big. I'm in Texas, so we know in Texas, bigger is better. So I make my wreaths big, and this one is still big enough for one. Okay? All right, let's get started. I also have here, this is what I like to call a definitely good wreath mesh for, or wreath frame, sorry, for beginners. If you're a beginner, this is a great one to start off with. Or if time is of the essence, which in my case, time is of the essence, then definitely this is a great one to start off with. I know a lot of people will go and buy the green ones at Hobby Lobby. I think they're like $3.99, something like that. I don't recommend those unless you've been doing, well, I'll say if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, I do not recommend going and buying the green wreath frames. I recommend going to the Christmas area and grabbing you one of these. I did choose gold. You can get any color, but I did choose gold just because it kind of will go in with the deco mesh that I'm using. Okay, so I just let my mesh drop to the ground. Not sure if you heard that. And I just have a fistful, like right here at the beginning of it. And I'm just gonna start anywhere. This is the cool thing, is that you wanna remember is that no two wreaths are gonna look exactly the same, right? No matter how many times I make the same wreath, they don't look exactly the same. So for those of you who I've made the everyday wreath for, that has been really popular, trust me, even though you may have the same ribbon and those type of things, it's not the same as everyone else's, as the next person. So that's the cool thing about wreaths, is that you want to really make it yours and make it personal. Just remember, anything you do can be fixed, right? If you make a mistake, we can fix it. It's not a problem. Just keep going. So this is what I have so far. I'm going to turn this around this way so you can see it. All I did was I took that and I just tied it off on one of the pipe cleaners. Just love that they're already hooked on here. Okay, I'll just get closer for those of you to see that. And then, because I like to go big with my wreaths, let me give this disclaimer. Keep in mind what size door you have. right? I do have some clients who have those really nice big doors and they go super big. And I have some clients who have a smaller door. So please, as you're making your wreath, keep in mind what size door you have. It's okay to even, I'm a firm believer in taking a step back and just kind of looking at your wreath, even in going and hanging it on your door and saying, okay, do I like it so far? Don't wait until you're finished to hang it up on your door. Do those pulse checks throughout the making of your wreath to make sure that it really aligns with what you want. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm just going to bring this down. Some people say, oh, do you do 1 foot? Do you do 2 foot, 2 feet? I just go, it's kind of like with those of you who are great at cooking, you say that you just, keep seasoning until the ancestors tell you enough. It's kind of the same way with me on making wreaths. Please keep in mind, I've been doing this for probably 6 years now, but if I was to show you my first wreath or my first 5 wreaths, you would totally laugh at me. So practice does make you a whole lot better. But I'm just going to pull it out to about right here. And again, just kind of play around with it and see if you like that size. Right? I do like bigger. And all I'm doing is putting it, and it doesn't matter which direction you go. You can go to the right, you can go to the left, as long as you know we're on this bottom part of the wreath frame. Okay. And I'm just gonna give it a twist, just a tight twist, just one time. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And you're like, oh, Vanita, I'm not really liking that. That's okay, because we're not even close to being done. I don't want you to stop and try to focus on, oh, let me poof this out and no, let it be, okay? And the minds are frozen, let it go. So we're just gonna do the same thing, and I'm going to the right. Again, it doesn't matter if you are going to the right or the left. I'm going to the right. The one thing I will say is that you do want to be aware of as you're making your wreath is sometimes as you get to going with these little poofs that I call them, some people call them puffs, whatever you want to call it, is that you can sometimes tend to go big, bigger, biggest, and just so it's good to just kind of be aware, take a look at how it looks compared to the one you have. If it's in the general size, then you're good to go, right? If it's super big, then you just want to tighten it up and not make it as big because you don't want to have a lopsided wreath. And all I'm doing is just giving it a twist. Okay? And then I'm going to the next one. I'm going to do the same thing. Put it in there, in between your two, right? Bring those two together and twist. Okay? And that's what I have so far. And down. You just keep going with it. And you just keep this up all the way around till you get, and I'm almost at the end. So this would be a good point to show y'all what to do when you get to the end of the deco mesh. Make sure and check, that'll probably end up in my foot later. Make sure and check for the staples that they stick in there. And be careful with taking that off. So you have the little staples there. So I'm at the end of this one because remember, I don't like wasting any on there. So I'm not gonna bother with trying to tie this off because it's not even enough. So what you do is just how I'm at the end now. You would just take it, tie it off, and then you just get scissors like this and you cut off your tail to make it a lot shorter. And I'm just cut through there. So see, I cut that off to make it shorter. And then I'm just gonna keep going with this. I have another one that I have not used, that I didn't finish using, that I'm gonna use and keep going with this. But I do wanna show you some things because we're getting to about 10 minutes on the video and I don't wanna run too long, is that so when I post the instructions for the wreath, you'll hear me talk about curls. Curls, this size is ideal for curls, and it's a 10 inch by 10 yards. So if you're making a wreath that has curls in it, or even if you want to just add curls, I love it because it adds some great pop of colors to your wreath. Then you want to get at least one of these in each color of curl that you want to have. So for example, I have orange, I have the green, and all you're doing with the curls is like that. This has, I think, 16 of these pipe cleaners on them. So you just want to cut 16 of these, right? And you want to do between 10 to 12 inches. I wouldn't recommend going any less than 10 inches because then your curl is not really big enough. But this is about a 10-inch curl. And what you do is once you get them all cut, you see how it automatically rolls up? That's why it's called a curl, right? And you just have it like this. And all you do is you take it and you just put it right on top. So see how I know you're like, okay, what are you doing with that? I'm just gonna place it right in between those two pipe cleaners. Bring these together, it's in the middle, and just give it a twist. And see how it works like that? Here's the cool thing, again, is that this is where your creativity is gonna really come into play. And you may decide that you want to do this color, and then you may want to add in on top of that color, this color, right? Or you may want to do all greens on top and all orange on the bottom, or green, orange, green, orange. It's up to you. This is where your creative juices really come in to play with the wreath. The other thing I want to show you is you'll hear me, or you'll see in the instructions that I'll provide with this video as far as like ribbons. So with ribbons, I like to do at least 2 different type of wide ribbons and then one what I call skinny ribbon, right? So here's a wide, here's a skinny, here's another wide, right? So for example, what you would do is you would cut 16 of these at 12 inches. So you would do 6, and I'll post pictures in the comments, but you'll cut 16 of these 12 inches long, right? And then you would cut 8 of one pattern 12 inches long, and then 8 of the other pattern 12 inches long, okay? And again, I would put these, if you're like, you're talking too fast, I'm gonna put these in the comments. So 8 at 12 inches long, 8 at 12 inches long, 16 at 12 inches long. The reason why you're doing 16 of these is because remember, there's 16, I don't have to double count, but I believe there's 16 of the little twigs on your wreath frame, and these will go on both patterns. That's why I like doing 2 wide patterns. So you will put, and I'm just using this as an example, guys, this is not a wreath, but this would be on top of this pattern as well as on top of this one. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's the thing. You also want to make sure you have a really, really good pair of scissors when cutting these, because cutting through the ribbon, these are wide ribbons. Cutting through the ribbons can be hard. So you want to make sure that you have a really good pair of scissors. The other thing too is that once you have cut your ribbons, I'm a big fan of, I forget what they call it, but is it the fishtail? I think it's called a fishtail. A fishtail in your ribbon, it just really gives it a nice clean look to it. And to do the fishtail, you fold it down. So you're folding it in half, right? So here's my ribbon. And all I did was fold it in half to where the not so pretty part is the part I'm looking at, okay? And I come to the corner of it and I just cut. Perfect. And see, it gives me that. Mine is a little lopsided, but you get the point on there. So that's the other thing I would tell you with that. I'm going to finish working on this one and I'll post the results in the comments. I'll post this video on my social media. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment under the video or even reach out to me for any help. Love that we are all in the wreath making season and really looking to make wreaths. And please share your pictures once you're done with your wreaths. I would love to see them. Have a great day.